within that area. So right now, it's everyone's curious to see where the circle will be leading on. Oh, it has got to be one of the worst case possibles for both teams because it is still towards, it's still touching the, I think it's still touching the military base side as well as the upper side as well. So the teams are trying to be on the safe side right now. So it could be dragged towards the north side. If it gets dragged to the south side, meaning that teams on the north side has to cross over the bridge right here. And the best option is definitely the bridge on the Novo side, on the right side, because the circle is still within that perimeter. But all that and more will be happening very soon on stage number 3. So here, DRS with 5 eliminations in their hands here at this current moment. STALWART Esports, they don't know this, but they do have eyesight on the team members of Team VOIN Donkey right outside of this area. Meanwhile, all this is happening. FaZe Clan is eliminated in 12th place, not being able to obtain any placement point over here. STALWART Esports goes for a little spray and pray, not able to connect. It does connect a little bit, but not enough to actually take him down. Shows up in Napalm here on the top side. Screaming out, does seem he's going to be charging upstairs. Is that really going to be the play here for him? Instead of disengaging, he knows that in terms of numbers, actually VOIN Donkey has it better, but he doesn't have a choice, right? As there's no support from his teammates.
A very tough fight here inside of Milta, but at least this region does have a little bit of zone coverage as in comparison to what FaZe Clan as well as RQ has been dealing with. Still by the edge of the map, by the way. They're not down and out just yet. Actually, speaking of which, I believe that RQ has already been taken out while we were focusing on to that mini-map.
Yes.
So that being said, we focus back onto STALWART Esports as they are holding out onto to this region, and they're making it difficult for teams to even journey into the island as well, as they've already gotten that coverage over the bridge. So this is a big struggle for everybody out there, while the rest of BTR, they're just gonna full set in, but the buggy flips in the worst of time. STALWART Esports sees an opportunity, but that's not much that or good he could be able to do right there. Break bows out to the play zone. As a matter of fact, I believe a lot of all these players are slowly succumbing to the wrath of the blue zone. So, BIGETRON Knights, they're definitely looking to get themselves pretty much safe into the area, but there is HORAA Esports waiting upon arrival. They have to book the hillside. Immediately, No Fear takes one off the list. Easy claim up against BTR.
Wow, I'm surprised that BIGETRON did manage to escape teams like STALWART Esports, DRS, VOIN Donkey on the other side, but HORAA was actually waiting for a team to actually cross over. But BIGETRON, instead of engaging together with HORAA Esports, they decide to go up straight towards the east side of the map. Just do not engage. They do not have good placement. They don't have good positionings here. So the best idea is just run away from all this. And it would be, and I think, although I think Satarlas still managed to actually survive all that, although they're lacking in terms of team members here from BIGETRON. I think that's better than still being stuck over there on the other side together with STALWART Esports, DRS, and VOIN Donkey, because now they need to have a Mexican standoff, and which one of them will be able to actually run away from each other's grass and cross over that bridge and engage with. And they know this. There's another team on the other side, but they don't know that it's actually HORAA Esports waiting for a team to actually jump on over. Meanwhile, we're also looking at the other bridge on the west side. This is a battle between Alter Ego Ares up against Team D-Xavier. D-Xavier's waiting for Alter Ego to just cross over. Alter Ego doesn't have any choice because right now the blue circles on them. It's stage 3. It packs a punch. So they need to either traverse through the road on the bridge, or they can actually try to go under. But I would assume that D-Xavier has these positions covered right now. Yeah, they're just waiting right now. Twas here. We have Leviso as well. This is going to be very, very tough as both teams have to move. And the first one making a move is going to be from Alter Ego. Storms right through there with the car.
It will be swerving into a very far distance as the rest of Alter Ego will be able to seek out their position. The Xavier decides to also go for a straight down up against Alpha, but he is stranded out there in the open. There's still members of Team Secret trying to make their passage across as they will eventually be spotted out. Great taps coming from the side of Max LV to deter some of all these hole coming in from the rest of the Savior. That opens up a little bit of that wiggle room. Meanwhile, for Alpha Eagle, they're only left with that one member remaining. So West quickly gets taken out upon arrival on that buggy, while Max LV goes in for an exchange. The battle between the Vietnamese sides, we'll see them eventually struggling by the corner of these blue zones, while taps are now being fired. Attack team duo from the side of Team Secret will be able to weather out Paragon for the meantime. So this hole from the side of the Savior, very risky approach, and it's not exactly paying off any form of dividends, especially now with only one member remaining. That's going to be level over the top side of the hill. Will actually make it two, as both sides are still trying to lock out the rest of Team Secret. Zone continues to pulse in further into the island, while Team Secret will find a passage through. I'm not too sure if they will have the rest of them make the cut, but right now, Alliance has got the best of advantages as they've been there from the get-go. Over onto the far end of the eastern corner, it's a much better game for STALWART Esports.
Oh yeah, and things are not over yet as well. It does seem that Lions will be engaging Vampire Esports here in a few short moments. And with all those trade-outs happening, Alter Ego Esports here eliminated with 4 elimination points in their hand. They had quite a rough battle for themselves. They had to run away from the East Bridge, making their way to a central area, but quite unfortunate, it's not going to be enough for them for this map number 9. Meanwhile, HORAA Esports throwing out some nades in the direction of STALWART Esports, so they have to be really careful. It does seem that No Fear will be bringing in the fight to them. It's going to be down on his knees here at this current moment. While all this is happening, Leviso is out for the count here in the hands of the play zone. Sky. No Fear is in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have anyone nearby to actually pick him up. So he might have to sacrifice himself with here. While all this is happening, he's going to be giving information in regards to the positioning of the team members and stuff with esports. It's not going to be that easy as smoke nades are being thrown here on the ground, preventing vision from one another. And while all that, I do believe that the shootout that we saw earlier, Contra, between Xavier and Team Secret has concluded, and Xavier will be coming on top as Team Secret is eliminated. And meanwhile, STALWART Esports as well, here with 5 elimination ones in their hand.
Full spray that will flip the entirety of the squad. One donkey only managing one when the exchanges go through. Alliance, they've got the best spot possible. They are looking to zone out teams such as STALWART from advancing any further. Sanchir holding on to the other side while the rest of Alliance spreads out to try to eventually wipe away the rest of STALWART Esports. It's not going to be an easy task for Sanchir at all, as he's currently being the last remaining player standing for STE. Flags. Puffer fishing for the Melvin, while there is going to be nades to be sent right into the back of the rocks. Sanchir tries to dodge it, but it's only about a matter of time, as it will be GBLP that will show up over the back as the Lions absolutely dominates this zone. The Malaysian squad, this is that perfect game to actually seize a chicken dinner of their own, but now needing to deal with the rest of yours as well that made their approach. Alongside with Roy Esports, currently holding them down, Chaman down, down. The YT struggling to also move in with the vehicle. Same goes to Roy Esports. It's been a very hectic ride into the app.
Oh yes, and of course they have to survive through a lot more armaments here. The opponents does seem that DRS will be seeing Alliance here on the sideline. Shootouts happening at this current moment. Flags going up on the chase here. On Killer, but decides to take his swerve to the right side, swerve his vehicle. While all that is happening, it does seem that Starless has to be down on Killer here at this moment. So far, as you mentioned, Alliance have had great positioning here in the game. They were not they were within the circle for the longest time. They had short engagements here, but it does seem that Roy Esports managed to pick up one of the team members here from Alliance. Roy still with the best case scenario here in the game. With 4 teams remaining, they have the most amount of players alive at this current moment. Udo Lions, or should I say Lions, my apologies, currently in second with 3 players. Meanwhile, BIGETRON with 2 players left and Xavier with 1. To C99, aka Jimmy OP here. We've seen some remarkable plays from him before. We'll see if he's able to replicate back his amazing plays on yesterday's game. And that team Tusk has his aim set towards this particular building where 2 of the team members here. Ooh, the moment showed himself. Olio, the moment showed himself over there, Contra. He got picked off real fast. It was actually a crossfire from the top side and the lower side from Roy Esports. And we do know there's yet another member here from Alliance. And does seem, despite having such a great run here in this game, they have to bow out in 4th place.
Yeah, that was a really great angle coming from the side of Roy Esports, as they will take claim of that compound. BIGETRON Knights only left with 2 members. Now they see the entire squad of Roy Esports. Not that there is much for them to do from this angle other than try to fend them off for this current position. Hug by the corner of the tower, Sataro over the top side, while there is risk of Roy, who is trailing right behind as they're hoping to close it up against those members of BTR eventually. And now it's between these 2 squads. I'm just really surprised that Alliance has gotten overwhelmed in this matchup, whereas this could very well be the comeback performance necessary for Roy Esports in this match. BTR only with 2 members, and this is everything to play for on the line for the side of Roy, as they are slowly wrapping around the edges. I believe that they should at least garner enough information of the current positions of these BTR members.
Oh yeah, and of course, these 2 teams right now, Roy, looking very healthy, looking great here, as all they need to do is find the 2 team members from BIGETRON Knights, and they do spot him out based on the shootouts here. Lapar currently in trouble, but Dusty, he's able to actually get 2 of them from Roy. So, from a 4v2 situation, they managed to cleanse it up. This might be an insane play here from Roy. Lapar still surviving through, making plays over here. They just need to seek out 1 more member from Roy Esports. It so happens to be Tusk. And they do find him. They do see where his position at. Starless on the outside perimeters. Lapar, low on HP. Tusk tried to go for a little bit of shoot here, but it's a 2v1 situation. Tusk doesn't have much cover. Stuck on the wall. Let's go for a shoot, and it does seem that this is going to be none other than BIGETRON Knights game here for match number 9.
They absolutely botched it. Like, I don't know how to tell you otherwise, because BIGETRON Knights is not supposed to take that win, but they did anyways. Like,